morning and a cool welcome to the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. You joined us for the second round of the MAM Malaysia Superbike Championship happening here at the Sepang International Circuit, and it's going to be an interesting morning. As always, on the day 2 for us on Saturdays, we have the qualifying morning followed by race 1 later on. Right now out on track will be the Honda Thailand Talent Cup, and yesterday if you look at free practice, it was an interesting mix-up for the regular categories. In the 250s, we have the comeback nearly of Afif Amran on his 5.0 250 machine on the Yamaha R3. That was interesting because we saw Afif Amran riding in Asia Road Racing in the last round in Motegi, and he's come back with his own outfit this time here for the second round of the Malaysia Superbike Championship. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes around. Of course, we have the regulars as well from the Honda Malaysia camp, such as Irfan Haikal, who will be looking to run at the front. But let's not forget Irfan Adiansha, who always goes well around here. In the 600s, it was a mix-up, but Tanat Lang Pleo was the standout with a 2-minute 10 already on Friday's free practice. Will he replicate that in qualifying? Of course, we have to remember Helmi Yasman will not go down without a fight, and he'll be looking to try and fight at the front with him as well. Faris Putra coming back on the 600s, so that's good to see for the Yamaha camp as well. In the 1000s, it's another mix of fantastic performances. Kasma Daniel, however, a bit far from what we know as his best time. He still managed to finish as the fastest. And of course, we have the Suzuki Warriors from in the likes of Azan Shah and Adam Nordin, who will be looking to take the front fight as well. Now, if we look at the weather, it's starting to clear up. It did look like it was going to rain for qualifying today, but it looks like it's going to have dry weather, and we're going to expect some hot weather at Sepang as it's been for the past couple of weeks. So, without much further ado, let's join the action out on track with Dr. Harmi Tazim.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera, selamat pagi pada anda semua. Terima kasih Daniel, dan kita sekarang sedang menyaksikan ini adalah bagi dimensi Honda Thailand Talent Cup sesi kelayakan. Sebelum kita lihat kepada perlumbaan sesi yang sedang berlangsung di Lita sekarang ini, kita lihat pada jadual perlumbaan kita di hujung minggu, pusingan yang kedua bagi MSBK 2026 ini. Kita mulakan dengan sesi kelayakan untuk Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup. Selama 25 minit masa diberikan untuk mereka dalam sesi kelayakan ini. Inilah sesi yang pertama kita pada hari yang kedua ini. Selepas ini kita akan saksikan MSBK 250 pada jam 9.25 pagi jadualnya. Selama 30 minit, kemudian diikuti dengan MSBK 600. 30 minit juga masa diberikan untuk sesi kelayakan. MSBK 1000 berlangsung pada jam 10.45 pagi sesi kelayakan, dan 11.25 adalah berjaya Sompo Yama R15M Race Elite untuk sesi kelayakan penentuan untuk grid permulaan perlumbaan. Kemudian kita akan menyaksikan perlumbaan pertama kita pada jam 12 suku nanti, Idemitsu Honda Talent Cup, perlumbaan yang pertama 11 pusingan. Kita akan berhenti berehat seketika. Selepas itu kita akan bertemu kembali pada jam 2 petang nanti untuk MSBK 2000, 8 pusingan perlumbaan, diikuti dengan MSBK 600 10 pusingan, MSBK 1000 pada jam 3.40 10 pusingan, diikuti pada jam 4.25 petang nanti berjaya Sompo Yama R15M Race Elite, 7 pusingan perlumbaan. bagi perlombaan Dimensi Honda Talent Cup ini. Semalam telah berlangsung untuk sesi latihan bebas. Dua sesi latihan yang berlangsung semalam, dan yang terpantas adalah Abimanyu Bintang Permadi dari Indonesia, lakukan masa 2:20.869 saat pada sesi latihan yang pertama, dan diikuti dengan Pongkun Annoi dari Thailand dengan masa 2:21.202 dilakukannya pada FP2 dengan Swakit Medat ialah masa ketiga terpantas 22 minit 21.217, dan di tempat keempat Suwakian Medat, dua pelumba dari Thailand ini yang berada di tempat ketiga dan tempat yang keempat. Jadi di awal sesi kelayakan ini, lihatkan pada catatan masa yang mereka lakukan semalam, catatan yang akan dikejar untuk jadi benchmark untuk kesemua pelumba 2:20.869 saat. Dan awal-awal lagi kita ada Pongkun Annoi yang melakukan masa 2:20.485 saat, the best time yang dilakukan oleh Pongkun Annoi. Dengan masa kedua terpantas kali adalah Techin Inapan 2:20.615. 2:20.485 yang dilakukan ni adalah masa yang terpantas di hujung minggu ini setakat ini, mengatasi masa yang dilakukan oleh Abimanyu Bintang Permadi semalam di peringkat awal sesi kelayakan untuk Dimensi Honda Thailand Talent Cup. Lihatkan pada perlumbaan ini, UMNO yang lakukan masa terpantas setakat ini. Kalau lihatkan masa mereka, baik sektor pun Pongkun UMNO yang melakukan masa yang baik di kesemua sektor dalam perlumbaan. Mereka berada di sekarang ini di turn 11, turn 12, sektor 1, sektor 2. Jas William melakukan masa terpantas sektor yang pertama, tapi hilang masa sektor yang kedua. Masa yang baik di sektor yang ketiga sekarang oleh Jas William. Sektor yang pertama kita lihat catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh Jas William, 29.536 saat adalah catatan terpantas, tapi dia hilang masa sektor kedua, sektor ketiga, tapi sudah cukup untuk dia berada di atas sekarang ini dengan catatan masa 2 minit 20.363 saat untuk catatan yang terpantas setakat ini. Lebih baik pada catatan masa yang mereka lakukan semalam. Dan sekarang nak lihatkan kalau maximum speed adalah milik Ngo Nguyen Min Tuan dari Vietnam, yang sekarang ini bukan masa yang kelima terpantas. Jas William di sektor yang pertama, kita ada Abimanyu Bintang Permadi lakukan masa terbaik peribadinya 29.637 saat. Lakukan masa terpantas di sektor yang kedua 31.417 bagi pelumba nombor 13 Abimanyu Bintang Permadi yang melakukan catatan pantas sekarang ini. Dari turn 10 dan 11 dia agak perlahan sedikit. Dia melakukan masa baik di sektor pertama, sektor yang kedua. Sektor pertama terbaik peribadi, sektor yang kedua terpantas. Di belakang yang mengikori adalah rider nombor 6, itu Pongkun Annoi, berada di belakang sekarang melalui melepasi sektor yang ketiga. Catatan masanya, dia hilang masa di situ agak banyak bagi Abimanyu Bintang Permadi. 42.745 di set yang terakhir. Nampaknya menuju ke turn 15 sekarang ini. Bagi Abimanyu Bintang Permadi nampak tidak dapat untuk dia membaki catatan masa. Kalau kita lihatkan pada catatan masa yang dilakukannya pada set yang ketiga, tadi mungkin set yang keempat, dia dapat untuk mencari semula catatan masa. Dia kekal tempat yang keempat bagi Abimanyu Bintang Permadi.
Minutes left for the Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup. It's lovely morning weather here at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. It did look like there's going to be a scare for the weather driving up to this grand location early on this morning, and someone's gone lifted off Reski there, taking a little bit of a wider route than usual for turn 4 at Sepang. There's Abimanyu Bintang. Bintang, the star for Indonesia on the rise for the Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup. A lot of talk about where he will be progressing further, especially with the rise of riders like his fellow compatriots that we've seen, Veraiga as well, who's come up through similar talent camps in the Astro Honda talent development. Finished first fastest yesterday in the Sasun Ring practice sessions, so that just shows how the talent development of the Indonesian Honda camp has gone impressively well. Kiana Ramadipa, another one who's come out through the Honda camp, who's doing wonderful things in Spain, in Thailand as well, with some impressive names rising up to the occasion in Spain. Of course, we talk about the World Championship. Thailand has produced a world known talent in the form of Somkiat Chantra from MotoGP. He's now completing a season in the World Superbike Championship. Bound to see another talent come on the rise for Vietnam. The most notable Vietnamese talent so far has been Cao Vietnam, who was impressed in the Asia Road Racing Championship and is not racing this season in the ARC, unfortunately. But we do have Nguyen Minh Tuan starting to impress here. Yugo Nakayama, number 20, trying to prove his time at 2:21.943, his personal best. He goes 16th. Swakit Midet. Expected a bit more from Swakit and Swakien in this session, but Swakit in 11th, Swakien in 6th for now. Pongkonem Noya doing good work so far in 2nd. Of course, we've got the young Aussie in 1st. Shaz Williams.
Ya, dan kita boleh lihat sekarang ini di Lita kedudukannya agak rapat antara mereka ini, menyukarkan juga untuk catatan masa, tapi ini akan berikan slipstream pada pelumba belakang untuk mendapatkan angin bagi mengejar melakukan masa yang lebih baik. So far kita ada 7 pelumba yang melakukan masa 2 minit 20 saat. So difference kalau lihatkan kurang dari 1 saat di antara 11 pelumba di depan. Itu that shows how rapat kedudukan bagi pelumba-pelumba ini dan catatan masa yang mereka lakukan. We still have 9 minutes to go dengan satu lap 2 minit 21, 2 minit 22 saat yang dilakukan oleh pelumba-pelumba ini. Then we look at the sector by sector, dan we have seorang pelumba yang di tempat ke-8 sekarang, iaitu Koshi Kuhara dari Jepun. Dia lakukan masa yang baik di sektor yang pertama, sektor yang kedua. Terpantas peribadi sektor pertama, terpantas sektor kedua, tapi hilang masa pula di sektor yang ketiga bagi Koshi Kuhara. Bima Ponjanari mungkin dapat membagi catatan kedudukannya Bagi Bima Punjenari yang sekarang berada di tempat yang ke-13, maybe dia akan dapat naik di atas. Belum dapat menggugat catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh belum terpantas. So sekarang ini Koshi Kuhara yang akan sampai untuk membaiki kedudukannya. Ini dalam kumpulan yang ada Koshi Kuhara. Dia nampak tempat yang ke-9 bagi Kuhara dengan Rizky Yusof Hermawan dari Indonesia yang lakukan masa yang terpantas dalam sektor yang keempat, 37.488. Jadi dia naik ke atas sekarang 2 minit 19 plus 968 saat. So the first rider yang lakukan masa di bawah 2 minit 20 saat sekarang, Rizky Yusof Hermawan nombor 5. Inilah pelumba yang lakukan masa terpantas tadi dan berada di provisional P1 sekarang ini. Bagi Rizky Yusof Hermawan 2 minit 19.968 saat.
Impressive by Rizky. I'm really impressed by Chaz Williams so far as well. Chaz, last time out, he finished 12th in the second race. Now Chaz is a 12-year-old young Aussie rider. He's and his CV is already mega impressive. In 2025, he was the FIM Mini GP champ in Australia, and he was the Oceania Junior Cup second place overall there as well. So he comes with an impressive record. Of course, that first time out in Sepang for him last time out will have been a learning curve, and look at him now. We're seeing the talent being displayed by Chaz Williams. 12 years old. I will mention that a few times this weekend now. I know Rizky is still the only one in the 219.968. Chaz will be looking to make a couple of tenths up at least. But it's impressive. I mean, to be this young and instantly, well, not instantly, but quickly adapting to these prototype machines. Of course, the Ovale bikes, they mimic more or less what the Talent Cup bikes will be running, such as the Moto 4 Asia Talent Cup bikes, as well as the Thailand Talent Cup bikes. And it is really just a preparation for these moments. So you can see how Chaz is able to really adapt that quickly to these Honda NSF 250Rs. Yugo Nakayama now comes across the line, doesn't improve this time around. Yugo still looking for lower 220s. Vachiravit has moved up into second. It's a good time for Vachiravit at 220.321. Vachiravit might have found another top talent coming up from on the Thailand camp. Last year we had Patragon Tongalong as well. Behind you, Binta Firmani just unable to make any steps forward so far in this last half of qualifying.
Yeah. Ada 5 minit lagi masa untuk mereka. Bagi Rizky Yusof Hermawan yang berada di atas, dia adalah sebahagian daripada PT Ultra Honda Motor Rider dalam program development untuk mereka yang berasal dari Jawa Tengah, Indonesia, di mana kali ini dia bermula dengan junior racing bersama dengan Ultra Honda Racing School, dan kali ini menyertai Hidemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup dalam perlombaan yang pertama di antarabangsa Sepang Petronas ini. Pada pusingan yang pertama dia menuju tempat yang kedua. Sedikit sahaja dia tewas lepas mendahului hampir keseluruhan perlombaan. Dan pada race yang kedua bermula pada pole position, dan adalah pelumba yang akan kita berikan tumpuan juga dalam perlombaan ini. Bagi Rizky yang sekarang ini berada di kedudukan tempat yang pertama, masih lagi berada di depan. Pada masa yang ada dan I think Tenchin Ampai mungkin dapat bagi catatan masa bergantung pada sektor yang keempat, sektor yang ketiga catatan masanya baik. Rizky juga lakukan masa yang baik di sektor yang pertama dan sektor yang ketiga. Nombor 5 yang kita lihat, Techin Inapai. Tapi rezeki hilang masa di sektor yang keempat, nombor 19. So we coming to the end of qualifying. Techin Inapai tempat yang kedua sekarang ni, 2 minit 20.010 saat. So I think rezeki Yusuf Firmawan adalah satu-satunya pelumba setakat ini. Kita masuk di 3 minit terakhir melakukan masa di bawah 2 minit 20 saat.
Yeah, mega impressive by Inapai there to put the bike up into second place. Bintang managed to improve a little bit, but Inapai just beating him to that second spot. For now, Apamani Bintang Firmadi, he trails by just under 3/10. Techin Inapai just 0.042 off Rizky Yusuf's 219.968. They will get about 2 laps remaining in this battle for the front row. So Rizky, last time out, performing really well. Bintang was unlucky. In the second race, he was running so strong all throughout the first round itself. Now Rizky, he looks comfortable. I mean, there's no one really contesting those spots apart from Inapai on the last lap, who managed to really low 220. Chaz Williams, who was looking like he was running away from it. Chaz is now dropped down to 5th. But Chaz, we know what a talent he can be. So every lap he does here around the Sepang International Circuit, it's a learning step for him. Almost literally a learning lap pretty much for Chaz to adapt to these bikes, to adapt to the long Sepang International Circuit. For riders like Chaz Williams, Sepang is a very different track. There's no real track like Sepang in Australia. He would have been racing on smaller circuits, even if they ride the 250s around there. If you compare it to the tracks like the Bend, for example, much tighter than the long, wide Sepang circuit. Rizky Yusuf nearly improves on his lap time there, 220.1. Yugo Nakayama comes across the line, improves up position. He goes up into 11th. Wacharakon unable to improve in this lap, 220.254. Still Abhimanyu Bintang Firmadi's best lap thus far. Wongkonem Noi down in 6th. Thailand, they would have a similar experience to the Aussies in terms of track variety. They have, of course, the large GP circuit of the Chang International Circuit in Buriram. But apart from that, we're talking about the much smaller tracks. That being said, in Malaysia it's pretty similar as well. Sepang International Circuit, the 5.5 kilometer circuit, is the only one of its sorts. There used to be a wonderful track in Johor. But that, of course, is a thing of yesterday now, since 2016. And that's mostly going to be go-kart tracks for any Malaysian talents coming up. Now following Techin Inapai, who's just gone and done the fastest second sector time. That's going to be quicker now. Inapai, the number 19. Just in the back of his screens there in front of him. He's going to get a decent chunk of slipstream. And he's going to get 2 lines of slipstream as well. Out of turn 10, he's going to get a nice run into turn 11. Wacharakon and Wong Som are watching his time as well. He's improving quite a bit. Around turn 11 goes this trio of riders. And in front of him is Sua Kien. Sua Kien's at the front of that trio. Techin Inapai is going to get a nice slipstream. He goes fastest, quickest through sector 3 as well. He's going to get the run down. I think Techin Inapai is just going to do it. He's going to get a nice drive going into turn 15 and perhaps even out of 15 as well. At the front of this large group, no one else is really improving. No one has put in a strong sector 1 or 2 or 3. Techin Inapai, the only one who's improved greatly, around turn 15 now, and he's going to get another chunk of slipstream. Look at this, Inapai is going to do it.
It's going to be a 2:19 from Techin Inapai. He comes across the line. It's a 2:19.760 for Techin Inapai. And Rescue Yusuf, who looks comfortable at the top, now will start from second. And Chaz Williams has made it on the front row. Chaz Williams, who in the last round was just battling for the final point scoring positions, has now put himself on the front row for the second round of the Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup. What a rise from Techin Inapai, and what an improvement from Chaz Williams. Rescue Yusuf and Abimanyu Bintang Firmadi. These are the two riders who are arguably the riders to beat for this season in this championship. Now have some proper contenders. Techin Inapai stealing pole position away from Rescue Yusuf. Chaz Williams knocking Bintang off the front row. But of course, with the Honda Thailand Talent Cup, the starting positions are almost redundant because slipstream will become a factor here. This is what qualifying looks like for the Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup. Techin Inapai on that final lap goes first and fastest. He will start from pole position with a 2:19.760. Rescue Yusuf Herma 1 in second. Chaz Williams in third. He completes the front row. Abimanyu Bintang Firmadi fourth. Vachravin Madapan fifth. Swakian Midet sixth. Pongkonem Noi in seventh. And Bima Pujanari in eighth. In ninth is Thailand's Wacharakon Wong Som. 10th is Vietnam's Ngo Nguyen Minh Tuan. 11th is Koshi Kohara. 12th is Yugo Nakayama. 13th is Swakit Midet. Carlson Jacob Solis in 14th. Pachara Limarun in 15th. And 16th is Narak Srisuwan. In 17th is Muhammad Hazik Nafa Muhammad Adam. And in 18th is Ronald Galzote. So we're going to head to a quick recap of what happened in Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup qualifying for round 2 of the MAM Malaysia Superbike Championship here at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit.
Okey, kita beralih pula ke MSBK 250. Sekali lagi 30 minit masa yang diberikan untuk mereka mencari catatan terpantas bagi urutan grid permulaan perlumpaan. Dalam MSBK 250 terlebih dahulu, kita nak lihat pada kedudukan keseluruhannya. Irfan Ardiansyah adalah overall leader standing dengan mengumpul 50 mata selepas pusingan yang pertama, dengan Muhammad Irfan Haikal Amidi tempat yang kedua dengan 40 mata. Nazrul Izzat Muhammad Baudin tempat yang ketiga dengan 29 mata, bersama Nguyen Hutri juga mengumpul 29 mata tempat ketiga dan tempat yang keempat. Dan kalau lihatkan pada pre-practice semalam, Irfan Haikal Amidi yang berjaya melakukan catatan yang terpantas 2 minit 26.440. Irfan Ardiansyah tempat yang kedua 2 minit 26.613. Nguyen Putri tempat yang ketiga 2 minit 27.164 dengan Nazrul Izzat tempat yang keempat. Afif di tempat yang kelima 2 minit 7.743 saat. Dalam pusingan yang pertama lalu, Irfan Haikal Amidi melakukan masa terpantas. Dia berada di P1 dengan masa 2 minit 25.595 saat. Irfan Ardiansyah berada di petak yang kedua. Petak ketiga Nguyen Putri, petak keempat Nazrul Izzat. Akif Abdullah petak yang kelima dalam perlumbaan. Dan pada tahun 2025, pada tahun lalu, Ahmad Afif Amran adalah juara dengan mengumpul 151 mata. Ketika itu bersama pasukan Superfast JRT X Rapido. Afif dalam perlumbaan pusingan yang pertama tak ia pelumpaan, tapi dalam pelumpaan yang pusingan yang kedua ini, Afif ada bersama pasukan Rapido Yamaha 50 Racing Team. Dan di tempat yang kelima Ahmad Malik Reda di tempat yang keenam dengan 7 Akif Abdullah. Jadi nampaknya persaingan. Haziq Fairuz juga ada dalam berada di tempat yang ke-8 dalam pre-practice yang berlangsung semalam. So jadi ini adalah kelayakan untuk mereka. Lihat catatan yang terpantas sekarang ini dilakukan oleh Yong Chon Ai Allen dari Silver Speed Racing Team. Wan Ni dan 2 pelumba yang lakukan catatan masa, tapi belum lagi kompetitif catatan masa yang dilakukan. Kita nantikan nanti pelumba 250 yang di atas akan lakukan catatan masa mereka. So nantikan Irfan Ardiansyah, Haziq Fairuz, Irfan Haikal Amidi baru saja melakukan masa terpantas 25.163 saat. Catatan masa yang dia lakukannya berbanding sewaktu senang pertama 2 minit 25.595, dilakukan 2 minit 25.163 dengan masa terpantas dalam kesemua sektor yang ditunjukkan oleh Irfan Haikal Amidi di awal sesi kelayakan MSBK 250 ini. Kita dah ada ramai pelumba lakukan masa. Afif di tempat yang kedua sekarang ini 2 minit 6.387 saat. Irfan Ardiansyah di tempat yang ketiga 2 minit 6.518 saat dengan Pilarisati Sai Rahil tempat yang keempat 2 minit 28.011. We are still waiting untuk catatan masa yang kompetitif yang akan dilakukan oleh Irfan Ardiansyah. 26.59 catatan yang baik untuk Irfan Ardiansyah, tapi tempat yang ketiga sekarang ini Nguyen Putri tempat yang ke-14. Nantikan catatan masa yang mereka lakukan. Setakat ini nampak ramai pelumba melakukan masa yang baik. Nguyen Putri dia terpantas peribadi sektor yang pertama, terpantas sektor yang kedua bagi Nguyen Putri yang sekarang ini kesemua berada di bahagian selatan Alita di turn 10, turn 11. Kesemua pelumba jadi catatan masa. Kita nantikan ada ramai pelumba lakukan masa terbaik peribadi mereka sekarang ini pada lap yang mereka sedang Lalu Afif yang kita lihat tidak begitu baik pada dua sektor yang pertama. Kemudian Kutri itu yang laju di sektor pertama. Dan sektor yang ketiga terbaik peribadi. Sektor yang kedua melakukan masa terpantas di Lita. Sekarang ini mereka mengharungi di sektor yang keempat. Dengan catatan masa ini, saya William Kutri akan dapat untuk membaiki kedudukannya daripada tempat yang ke-16 dengan masanya 2:33 pas 9:09. Kita tahu dia boleh melakukan masa yang jauh lebih baik lagi bagi Nguyen Putri. Begitu juga dengan Kabilah Rajni Krishnan juga melakukan masa yang baik dalam dua sektor. Sektor kedua dan sektor yang ketiga. Jadi Nguyen Putri naik tempat yang kedua sekarang 2:25.240 saat dengan Haziq Fairuz tempat ketiga 2:25.683 saat. Afif turun ke bawah sedikit di tempat yang kelima. Ifan Adian Shah tempat yang keempat 2:26.274. So kita ada 3 pelumba. Irfan Haikal Hamidi yang masuk ke dalam pit. Kita ada 3 pelumba yang melakukan masa di bawah 2:26 saat. Muhammad Irfan Haikal Hamidi untuk motor Honda Racing Malaysia, kemudian Hutri untuk Honda Racing Vietnam, dengan Muhammad Haziq Muhammad Fairuz untuk Osama Racing Team dengan masa 2:25 saat. Lain pelumba masih lagi dalam 2:26 ke atas, termasuklah Irfan Ardiansyah dan Ahmad Afif Amran yang belum dapat melakukan masa di bawah 2:26 saat. Tamat pada 10 minit yang pertama bagi 30 minit masa yang diperuntukkan untuk mereka dalam sesi kelayakan ini. Cuaca mendung tapi agak baik untuk perlumbaan di antara bangsa Sepang Petronas ini, yang mana faktor cuaca sentiasa memainkan peranan menentukan perlumbaan. Tapi setakat ini cuaca redup dan mendung di Lita, dan cuaca yang agak selesa bagi pelumba untuk mereka mengharungi sesi kelayakan ini. Sesi kelayakan yang kedua kita saksikan di Litar Antarabangsa Sepang Petronas Peripusingan yang kedua MSBK dalam pada kali ini, dan ini adalah sesi pertama dalam perlombaan MSBK. Bagi 600 dan 1000 yang akan kita saksikan, dan juga R15 yang akan turun untuk catatan masa mereka dalam sesi kelayakan. Wei Xiang juga melakukan masa yang terbaik peribadinya. Carlton Jacob Solis juga melakukan masa yang terbaik peribadi mereka untuk pelukan 13 dan 20. Wei Xiang berada di tempat yang ke-20, sementara Carlton Jacob Solis tempat yang ke-13. Masa terbaik peribadi yang dilakukan so far. Kita ada ramai pelumba yang melakukan masa terbaik peribadi untuk membaiki kedudukan mereka. Ada 3 pelumba saja dalam kumpulan B. Carlton Jacob Solis, Kabilah Rajni Krishnan dan Wei Xiang. 3 pelumba ini dalam 250B. Lain-lain pelumba semua dalam 250A. Selamatkan bagi keluar untuk kejutan masa, tapi ada ramai yang masuk dalam pit sekarang ni. Top 4 semuanya dalam pit. Irfan Haikal Hamidi, Nguyen Kutri, Umar Haziq Muhammad Fairuz, Irfan Ardiansyah, Ahmad Afif Amran dalam pit, dan Pelaseti Sai Rahil tempat yang ke-6 juga dalam pit sekarang. Lihat di atas, untuk mereka keluar pada stint yang kedua nanti untuk catatan masa yang akan mereka lakukan. Most rider berada kesini di bahagian belakang di turn 7, turn 8 sekarang. 86 yang adalah Au Yong Chon Ai Allen yang berada di laluan lurus backstreet tuju ke turn 15. Dia berada di tempat yang ke-17 sekarang ini. Nombor 86 akan sampai antara Ahmad Akif Abdullah yang kita sedang ikut sekarang di tempat yang ke-7 keseluruhan. Masa 2 minit 27 dan 5.94 saat. Ahmad Irfan Kalam ini out lap sekarang ini untuk second spin bagi sesi kelayakan yang tinggal 16 minit lagi akan tamat. Afiq Amrai mengangkat tangan. Dalam kumpulan ada ramai pelumba. Masuk semula ke dalam pit. Tidak mau mengambil catatan masa yang mereka lakukan tadi. Afif juga masuk dalam pit sekarang ni untuk masukkan Rapido Yamaha 50 Racing Team. So, jadi kita ada sekarang ini outlap Irfan Kalamidi, tapi tempat kedua, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kesemuanya dalam pit sekarang. Itu juga dengan Seven Sabu, Kasan Jacob Solis, Zakwan Anas, Azizul Khairi, Kamilej Rajni Krishnan, Chris Villanueva dan Ki Hwani. Kesemua dalam pit sekarang ini. Kita akan sedia untuk keluar bakal yang kedua bagi sesi kelayakan. Jadi kebanyakan pelumba kesemuanya sekarang berada dalam pit. Jadi untuk kali kedua ni jangkaan masa Irfan Kalam dia akan cuba mempertahankan kedudukan di tempat yang pertamanya. Tapi kita akan selalu perhatikan Irfan Ardiansyah nombor 16 itu. Kerana Irfan Ardiansyah yang memang kemarin dalam perlumbaan mengikori rapat di belakang, dan kebiasaan di penghujung dia dapat untuk memenangi perlumbaan. Bagi Irfan Ardiansyah, kita lihatkan pada tahun lalu Afif bergelar juara dengan mengumpul 151 mata. Irfan Ardiansyah tempat yang kedua, dia ada 5 kali podium, 2 kemenangan, sekali tempat kedua dan 2 kali tempat yang ketiga. Pada kami dia ada 1 kemenangan pada musim lalu. Afif dia ada 4 kali berjaya memenangi perlumbaan. Di pusingan yang kedua, pusingan ketiga dia menang, dan keempat dia menang sekali. Dan pertama 2 kali di tempat yang kedua. Enam kali podium untuk Afif pada tahun lalu, dengan 2 kali tempat yang kedua di pusingan pertama. Pusingan kedua dia menang dua-dua perlumbaan. Perlumbaan pusingan ketiga menang sekali, pusingan ke round 4 dia menang sekali. Untuk Afif menewaskan rakan pasukannya ketika itu, Ahmad Akid Aziz. Irfan Ardiansyah ada 2 kemenangan. Irfan Aikal Amidi pula ada 3 podium, 1 kemenangan. Dia menang round 1 di race yang kedua. So, Nguyen Hutri terbaik musim lalu, tidak dapat naiki podium, tapi 2 kali berada di tempat yang keempat. Cuba untuk memperbaiki rekod yang ada pada Nguyen Hutri ini, untuk setidaknya dapat naiki podium pada pusingan yang kedua. Dalam perlumbaan lalu, Irfan Ardiansyah, Irfan Nakalamidi dan Nazrul Izzat 1, 2 dan 3. Kemudian putri ada 1 podium. Dia dapat di tempat yang ketiga pada perlumbaan yang pertama di round 1. Oh, ini adalah Irfan Nakalamidi yang terjatuh di litar nombor 21. Teruskan motor Honda Racing Malaysia. Dia dapat meneruskan kembali sesi kelayakan ini. Dia berkedudukan pertama sekarang bagi Irfan Nakalamidi. Coming to the last 10 minutes, 10 minit yang terakhir untuk sesi kelayakan ini, dengan Irfan Nakalamidi yang outlap, tapi yang tadi terjatuh. Outlap adalah Nguyen Hutri dengan Muhammad Haziq Ahmad Fairuz, Irfan Ardiansyah masih lagi dalam pit, Afif Amran, Pilaseti Syed Rahil, Akif. Memang satu kumpulan pelumba yang kita akan saksikan persaingan sengit dalam perlombaan MSBK 250 ini nanti. Kilometer terakhir sekarang ini bagi MSBK 250, kita mengikuti perlumbaan nombor 29. 8 Po Kuang tempat ke 21. Sekarang kita ada ramai pelumba dalam 250A masuk depan Anas Azul Khairi, Nazrul Izzat yang kita belum nampak lagi catatan masa yang kompetitif 2:28.446 yang dia lakukan. Akif juga boleh lakukan masa yang baik. So we are still waiting daripada dua pelumba ini, antara Irfan Nakalamidi yang masuk ke dalam pit. Saya percaya, ya betul, lepas dia terjatuh ketika dia cuba untuk lakukan catatan masa tadi. Sekarang ni Nguyen Hutri, Ahmad Haziq Ahmad Fairuz, Irfan Ardiansyah, Afif Amran, Pilaris Seti Syed Rahil, Muhammad Akif Abdullah, Ahmad Malik Reda, Tang Li Furong dengan Nadirul Nazrul Izzat Ahmad Bahudin. Haziq Fairuz juga berdalam pit. Sekarang ini kita di 7 minit terakhir. Ini ada peluang tadi untuk melakukan masa yang lebih baik. Pelumba di bawah melakukan masa yang Panda Po Kuang terbaik peribadi. Yang itu juga dengan Ki Kwan Ni, tapi kedudukan mereka masih di bawah 19 dan 20. Jadi belum ada lagi pelumba yang di timing page menunjukkan catatan masa baik. Sekali kita akan nantikan di mungkin lap seterusnya ini, kerana mereka baru saja melakukan satu pusingan. So di sektor yang pertama, catatan masa yang dilakukan 50 yang terlihat Afif yang kembali semula ke Lita untuk masa yang dia lakukan. Kumpulan yang besar sektor 1. Kita ada Afif melakukan masa terbaik peribadi sektor yang pertama. Pilaseti Sairahil juga dan Akif Abdullah melakukan masa yang terbaik peribadi mereka di sektor yang pertama sekarang ini. Sektor yang kedua juga melakukan masa yang agak baik, 32.675, masa terbaik peribadi oleh Ahmad Afif Amran untuk membaiki kedudukannya di tempat yang petaan ke-5 sekarang ini untuk Afif. Akan menuju ke sektor yang ketiga, ke semua pelumba di turn 12 sekarang. Dia hilang masa sedikit di sektor yang ketiga bagi Ahmad Afif Amran. Irfan Ardiansyah, Seven Sabu juga hilang masa sektor yang ketiga. Afif juga hilang masa kerana terlalu ramai pelumba, jadi mungkin catatan masa yang dia tidak dapat untuk masa yang lebih baik bagi Afif. Kekal tempat yang kelima untuk Afif, sementara Irfan Kalamidi yang akan masuk semula mempertahankan kedudukannya di tempat yang pertama. Kita di bawah 4 minit lagi untuk tamat. So, satu lap dalam 2 minit 25. Probably pelumba yang berada di depan akan dapat untuk, saya rasa kalau ikutkan mungkin Irfan Haikal juga akan dapat untuk flying lap yang terakhir mereka, untuk cuba melakukan catatan masa yang terpantas. Terutama bagi Nguyen Putri yang cuba untuk merampas petak utama. Akif di tempat yang ke-7 sekarang ini. Still, kita dah hampir tamat sesi kelayakan. Hanya 3 pelumba saja melakukan masa dalam lingkungan 2 minit 25 saat. Muhammad Irfan Kalamidi, Nguyen Putri dan juga Muhammad Haziq Muhammad Fairuz. Semua mereka berada satu kumpulan yang agak besar, termasuk nombor 16 Irfan Ardiansyah yang kita lihat dalam kumpulan ini. Jadi Irfan Kalamidi baru sampai di turn 6. Kita tinggal lagi 2 minit 40 saat. Ada masa untuk dia. Satu flying lap untuk kesemua pelumba. Bukan catatan masa yang terakhir mereka. Sekarang ni mostly di turn 12 dan kesemua pelumba di turn 12 dan turn 13 sekarang. Untuk ke satu lap yang terakhir bagi catatan masa yang mereka lakukan. Yang lap yang ni tidak ada pelumba melakukan masa yang lebih baik. kita akan menyaksikan untuk lap yang terakhir. Ini adalah peluang terakhir untuk mereka memadamkan catatan pelumba Nguyen Putri yang masuk dalam pit, jadi dia tidak mengambil. Dia berada di pit lane. So tamat untuk kelayakan bagi Nguyen Putri. So lain-lain pelumba yang melepasi sekarang ini adalah yang terakhir untuk mereka. Catatan masa termasuk Ahmad Afif Amran. Tengok berapa Afif lakukan di sektor yang pertama di turn 3 nanti. Nombor 50. Tadi dilakukan masa sektor pertama 32.674. Sekarang ini ya, mereka telah pun sampai 31.190. Masa lakukan oleh Afif baik di sektor yang pertama untuk Ahmad Afif Amran. Soal pelumba yang melakukan masa yang baik di sektor yang pertama, masa terbaik peribadinya adalah Nadrul Izzat, 31.394 saat. Untuk Nadrul Izzat memperbaiki kedudukan, dia berada di tempat yang ke-10 bagi Nadrul Izzat. Mereka di sektor yang kedua sekarang ini. Baru melepasi, tapi ke semua pelumba hilang masa di sektor yang kedua. So harapan mereka untuk membaiki catatan masing-masing tidak begitu baik, bergantung pula pada sektor yang ketiga dan keempat. Sebab berdasarkan catatan masa sektor yang kedua, mereka hilang masa agak banyak, dan kedudukan ini juga baik untuk Irfan Naikal Hamidi yang tidak melakukan masa yang baik di sektor yang pertama tadi. Tapi dia telah lakukan catatan terpantas 25.163 saat. Lebih baik daripada catatan masa yang lakukannya di pusingan yang pertama. Ahmad Akif Abdullah, semua pelumba tidak dapat bagi catatan masa yang lebih baik lagi untuk mereka. Sekarang ini menuju ke turn 15. Jalan lurus di belakang. Checker flag telah pun dikibarkan dengan tamat bagi sesi kelayakan untuk MSBK 250. Untuk penentuan di grid permulaan perlumbaan. Perlumbaan yang akan berlangsung jam 2 petang nanti. So, kumpulan pertama yang akan sampai untuk menamatkan sesi kelayakan mereka. Tapi tidak ada nampak pelumba yang boleh membaiki kedudukan mereka masing-masing. Dari mana kekal pada kedudukan mereka sebelum ini. Dengan 121. Tan Ling Furong yang akan sampai bersama dengan Irfan Naikal Hamidi. Jadi nampaknya kedudukan Irfan Naikal Hamidi kekal selaku pelumba terpantas. Untuk berada di grid permulaan perlumbaan di petak pertama. Dalam perlumbaan lalu, yang pertama Irfan Naikal Hamidi juga berada di kedudukan petak utama dengan masa 2 minit 25.595 saat. So ini adalah pole position yang kedua bagi Irfan Naikal Hamidi untuk musim ini, selepas lakukan catatan yang terpantas lebih baik daripada masa yang lakukan semalam dan juga pada pusingan yang pertama. Ini keputusan bagi sesi kelayakan untuk MSBK 250. Pemain Irfan Naikal Hamidi dengan 2.25.153 saat adalah pelumba terpantas. Diikuti Nguyen Putri yang akan bermula di petak yang kedua, dan Muhammad Haziq Wan Fairuz di petak yang ketiga melengkapkan barisan utama perlumbaan. Diikuti dengan Irfan Ardiansyah petak keempat, petak kelima Ahmad Afif Amran, 6 Dilari Seti Sair Rahil, 7 Muhammad Akif Abdullah, 8 Ahmad Malik Reda, 9 melengkapkan barisan yang ketiga adalah Tang Li Furong. Dengan Nadrul Izzat Muhammad Baudin bermula petak yang ke-10, Sabian Sabu 11, 12 Carlton Jacob Solis, 13 Alvin Xavier, 14 Chris Will Villanueva. Dengan 15 Zakwan Anas Azizul Khairi. 16 Kavilage Rajini Krishnan. 17 Au Leong Chon Ai Allen. 18 Muhammad Darwish Amsha Muhammad Ridwan. 19 Ki Kwan Ni. 20 Fan Po Kwang. Dan 21 Eng Wei Chan.
Irfan, pertama sekali tahniah dapatkan P1 untuk race weekend ni. So boleh ceritakan sikit macam mana qualifying tadi?
Okay, first kali saya nak ucapkan syukur Alhamdulillah. Pada qualifying tadi, pada awal lap tu saya cuba untuk push seorang untuk dapatkan time yang baik. Dan saya dah dapat time baik, saya masuk untuk ubah setup sikit. Tapi bila saya keluar second tu, saya terjatuh pada first turn. Dan saya dengan tim race ni akan ubah sikit motor. Dan race ni saya akan buat yang terbaik.
So seperti biasa dalam kategori 250 ni, kita tahu walaupun starting pole dia bukan cerita belum habis kat sana sebab kita tahu dengan faktor slipstream dekat Sepang ni. So boleh ceritakan sikit maybe apa perubahan dekat setup yang Irfan akan buat untuk race nanti?
Okey, untuk race nanti saya dengan tim akan ubah pada suspension dan berkenaan dengan motor saya untuk saya bawa race tu lagi senang untuk capkan diri saya dengan rider-rider lain.
Terima kasih Irfan, good luck untuk race nanti.
Bye.
Okey, kita saksikan pula bagi MSBK 600 untuk sesi kelakar 30 minit masa yang diberikan bagi MSBK 600 kali ini. Kita ada 6 pelumba yang disenaraikan dan you have Tanat Longplio, Kitsada Tanachot, Helmi Azman, Khalidan Pawi dan Nakib Rifki Zulhelmi serta Faris Putra Muhammad Fadil. So seperti biasa MSBK 600 ni senarai pelumba tidak ramai, tapi this time around we have 6 pelumba dan 7 kalau ikutkan senarai ada 7 termasuk Khairul Amirin Yahya. 7 pelumba ini semua mereka adalah pelumba yang handal. Jadi we gonna see battle between Tanat Longplio, Kitsada, Helmi Azman, Kip dan Nakib Rifki serta Faris Putra yang utamanya. Dan battle ini kita akan saksikan nanti di mana pada pre-practice semalam Tanat Longplio lakukan masa yang terpantas 2 minit 10.686 dan sekarang ni dia dah lakukan masa 2 minit 09.688 saat dengan Helmi yang kedua, Kisara Tanachot di tempat yang ketiga.
209.688 might be the fastest qualifying time that we've ever had in the 600s. I need to check that back. That's a scorching time. For reference, anything in the low 210s is super impressive in the 600 class. At 209, you're knocking on the door of lap record timings for race tire compounds. At 2096, you are really knocking on that door. So I'm just gonna quickly check back on the archives and see what I can find. You have to look at the old qualifying times, 210.688. Literally exactly a second faster this time round is Tanat Longplio. And again, I'm trying to think back in 2025, 24. I don't think we have had anything as low as a 209.6 since Kasma Daniel. That is unbelievably impressive by Tanat Longplio. And Tanat, as we know, he's one of the most promising talents coming from Thailand, from the Honda Thailand camp. You know, Mr. Alex Pombrapra, president of the Thai Honda company, is really pushing forward for the next Somkiat Chantra. I think at the rates that Tanat is going at, a second faster than he was in round 1, he is definitely looking to be the next big thing. Kitsara Tanachot, last time out in Sepang as well in round 1 was mega impressive. Kitsara again in practice yesterday was as well quick, 211.6. Helmi Azman playing a bit of catch up this time round. He is not anywhere near the postcode of Tanat Longplio now. Again, that speaks numbers. This is Helmi's home ground as well. But Tanat, I think Tanat fancies Sepang. Tanat, of course, he's in preparation mode for the Asia Road Racing Round that's coming up next month. Literally just exactly under 30 days from now. And a 209.688. I'm sorry that I sound like a broken record mentioning 209.688 a million times, but that is super impressive.
Bagi Tanat Longplio, bagi pelumba Thailand ini, dia adalah lihat sebagai future untuk pelumba Thailand. Dia adalah produk Honda Racing Thailand untuk Rider Development Program mereka. Dia menyertai Supersport 600 di FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. Dan dia naik menerusi dimensi Asia Talent Cup ATC tahun 2022. Dan seperti Diana katakan tadi, ini adalah pembawa muda dari Thailand yang mereka cuba groom sekarang untuk dibawa naik peringkat yang lebih tinggi lagi. Dan catatan masa yang dilakukannya 2 minit 09 688 ini dah cukup buktikan kemampuan dengan kit sedar tanah cot yang mengikori tanah long beliau. Dan kita juga lihat masa yang dilakukan oleh pelumba ini Faris Putra Ahmad Fadil. Faris Putra juga pelumba yang muda yang berbakat dari Malaysia yang mereka naik. Tapi setakat ni Faris Putra melakukan masa 2 minit 12.894 saat. Well, look at the time. Beza catatan masa Tanak Lomplio 209.688 dengan kit sadar melakukan 2 minit 11.021. Helmi Azman 2 minit 11.335. Kalidan Pawi 2 minit 11.918. Faris Putra 2 minit 12.894. So that's how the difference yang kita lihatkan perbezaan antara Tanak Lomplio dengan lain-lain pelumba. Whereby dalam sesi latihan semalam dia lakukan 2.10. Semalam pun dia lakukan 2.10. Satu-satunya pelumba lakukan masa di bawah 2.11. Because Kit Sada lakukan 2.11.676. Helmi lakukan 2.11.755. Kip lakukan 2.12.261. Naki Rifki 2.13.370. Faris Putra 2.13.934. Dan pada hari ini dia lakukan terus 2.09.688 berbanding dengan lain-lain pelumba yang masih lagi struggle to find 2.10. Kit Sada, Helmi, Karidan Pawi semua dalam 2.11 lingkungan. Seperti yang dikatakan tadi dalam Super Sport 600 ni, to get 210 pun susah. Dia lakukan 2.09.688 saat. Tall order for lain-lain pelumba untuk cuba mengejar dan memadamkan catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh Tanak Lomplio ini.
Yeah, I mean, 209. You don't see that every round. And mind you, we come to Sepang a lot. And 209 is not something you see every day. It's so impressive. And just to give everyone a little bit of a throwback, when Tanat was on the rise in the 250 class, I still remember that Mr. Alex Promrapa told me at the end of the season, Tanat goes to 1000 next. And even Tanat was like, whoa, I'm 16, I need time. And but that just shows the faith that Thai Honda has in the hands of Tanat Longplau. The future is looking good for this young Thai rider. And you'd have to imagine that they will send him to the World Championship with time to come. I mean, he's proven his talent, he's proven his worth. Of course, in ARC, he still has a bit of proving to be done. He has shown his pace on multiple occasions. Just has to string together a strong season. Speaking of stringing together a strong season, Faris Putra, who's back on the 600, and that's always good to see. It's good to see Yamaha back in full swing for the MSBK rounds. We didn't see them in round 1. And it was they were sorely missed. And it was really it was a happy moment for me seeing them back in the paddock this weekend with the likes of Faris Putra, race winner in the R3 Blue Crew Asia Pacific Championship. Multiple podiums as well now. A rising star for Malaysia and the Yamaha camp. And if he finishes off his R3 Blue Crew Asia Pacific season well, he will be heading to the World Championship for the R3 Blue Crew Cup there. But once again, he will have to prove his mettle. We have seen riders rise through these ranks in the past now. We're mentioning as far back as Ali Satya Mahendra from Indonesia, who has proven to be mega quick in both the World Sport 300s and the 600s. Now the Thai Honda bikes come up. Faris Putra, so as I was mentioning, this might be the next one for Southeast Asia. Remember the name, Faris Putra. The talent on the rise.
Ya, tapi dia masih belum dapat lagi melakukan masa bagi Faris Putra 2.12.894 catatan masa yang dia lakukan. Semalam dia lakukan masa 2.13.934. So we need to see Faris Putra akan masa yang lebih baik lagi untuk memberikan cabaran kepada Kitsada, pada Helmi, Tanat Long Plio dan Kari Dampawi. Helmi yang masih dalam pit untuk akan keluar kembali selepas ini untuk catatan masa yang seterusnya. Masa lakukan Helmi juga 2.11.755 yang dilakukannya semalam. Hari ini 2.11.335. Dia dapat turun sedikit tapi belum dapat untuk mencari 2.11 bawah atau 2.10. Rakib Rifki Zul Helmi, rumah muda untuk Honda Malaysia, dan sekarang ini berada di tempat yang ke-6, 2.13.030. Also in a learning curve for Nakib Rifki.
That being said, huge improvement for Nakib over the last round. He's dropped into the 213s in qualifying, and it shows his talent and why they are pushing Nakib. And if you talk about Faris Putra as well, I mean, the thing that is a bit difficult for Faris in the 600 class is just the lack of mileage that he's had on that bike. Again, we haven't seen Yamaha testing the R6 with Faris many times before, other than race weekend. So for Faris, every time he jumps on the bike, it's a learning curve. It's step-by-step process, and Faris, so in comparison, last time round Faris had a more senior rider to take reference from. This time he's on his own, so I think that into consideration, it is impressive. But as you mentioned, if we talk about getting those top numbers, he does have a bit of a way to go. But again, Faris, we know what he's capable of. He will get there, I'm certain. It's only his, what now, third time riding this bike? I think third. Couldn't be more than 4 times. And you know, to drop into the 212s already, it's not easy. You know, if you talk pre-COVID, 212 on the 600 was going to be some of the fastest times. 211 you're talking about the fastest, but 212 was plenty quick. So he's getting there. And I think similar to him, Nakib Rifki making great progress. But these are the reference riders so far for this weekend, Tanat and Kitsada.
Ya, kerana Nakib Rifki tadi dilakukan masa 2 minit 15.077 pada perlumbaan lalu. Now he's making 213, so still low. Dan nampak improvement yang ada pada Nakib Rifki. As Daniel said just now, dua pelumba ini Kitsada dan juga Tanat. Kitsada Tanat Short dan Tanat Long Plio adalah 2 pelumba yang jadi benchmark untuk diikuti oleh lain pelumba. Tanat Long Plio lakukan masa 2 minit 10.688 dalam perlumbaan lalu untuk P1. 2.11.189 oleh Kitsada Tanat Short, dan kali ini awal-awal lagi mereka telah melakukan catatan masa yang jauh lebih baik, 2.9688 oleh Tanat Long Plio. That is exactly a second faster than the time that he did round 1. Dia 1 saat lebih laju catatan masa yang dia lakukan. So itu masa yang akan dikejar oleh lain pelumba, dan Kitsada Tanat Short yang mengikuti Tanat Long Plio sekarang ni. Dan Kitsada lakukan masa yang terbaik dalam 2 sektor pertama, but lost time di sektor yang ketiga. Perhaps dia dapat untuk bagi catatan masa 2.11.001. Maybe dia di last sector ini untuk dia dapat cuba lakukan di bawah 2.11, kerana tadi 2.11.021 yang dia lakukan tadi, tapi nampak silapan sedikit oleh Kitsada Tanat Short untuk cuba pemadam catatan masa yang dilakukan 2.10.970. With that dia dapat lakukan 2.10.970. Lebih laju lagi. Jadi 2 pelumba Honda Racing Thailand ini yang sekarang berada di depan 2 pelumba dari Honda Racing Malaysia, Helmi Azman dan Karul Idam Pawi, yang sekarang akan cuba untuk mengejar catatan masa Kitsada dan Tanat. Kawasan 2 pelumba Thailand melakukan masa 2.09 dan 2.10 sekarang.
Yeah, mega impressive from Kitsada despite that error at the final sector. Just going in a bit hot there he was. Man, this is great. This is great stuff from the Thai Honda riders working together, finding those improvements. Mind you, Tanat sets a 210.7 on that previous lap, so despite not improving in his time, he's still faster than anyone else on track right now. It speaks to the quality of Kitsada and Tanat. I must say the weather right now as well, it is absolutely superb. This is the best weather we could ever see in Sepang, really. You don't normally get this kind of weather. And now we have the trio of Honda CBRs there. That's a nice shot there. Helmi Azman, as well as Nakib Rifki Zulhelmi. And of course, how can we ever leave out Karoli Dampawi, the number 28 there. Kip just coming back from a stint in the Suzuka 8-hour endurance race. The trio of bikes there, running nicely together in a very incognito color scheme, that all black livery. Right now they're still hunting for something. I can mention Kip, even though it's been about well, not even a 4-day rest for him. I think it's only been a 3-day rest if you factor in the travel time, but he will be fighting off those little bit of fatigues from the 8-hour endurance race on the 1000cc bikes. It's not easy on the body at all, the toll it takes on you. But right now, Helmi Azman, I'm a bit surprised by Helmi right now. This is far from the best we've seen of Helmi Azman. And especially if we take into account that the weather is superb for riding. Usually you'd think we'd say that the hot weather would be the most ideal conditions, but simply because the Malaysian heat, the tropical heat, can be so intense, this is more or less where the tires and the bikes would actually work at its optimum best. And even just for the riders as well. When you have weather like this in Sepang, it's not too hot. We're probably hovering anywhere around the very low 30 degrees Celsius or 29 degrees Celsius, which is just warm enough to get your body pumping, but cool enough that the wind does take the heat away a bit. But yeah, again, just the fact that we're stuck at 2:11.4, the Honda Malaysia riders, something's just not really clicking yet. We've seen this for Helmi Azman this season. Speedy recovery and get well soon to his crew chief ever since his accident. Helmi Azman has had to rework how he works in that paddock, and it's been an uphill climb for Helmi. Hasn't had great qualifying pace or free practice pace, but he has managed to find something special in the races. It's just bizarre. 2:11.3 at this point in qualifying. 6 minutes and a bit left. There has to be an answer from the Honda Malaysian camp. For riders like Faris Putra and Nakib Rifki, we expect them to take a bit of time to get and come to grips. You can see Nakib there just being dropped by his two seniors at the front of him. Kip now trying to readjust his riding style again. Kip improving to sector 1, so Kip doing actually a decent job in sector 1. It's not going to lift him much. At best, it's just going to improve his time and bring him closer to Helmi Asman's 211.3. But I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to knocking Helmi off third spot. That's Nakir Helmi. Was quite brilliant to watch in the opening round for his first bout on the 600s. But still young and still making those rookie errors. Getting to grips with these bikes. Ooh, nice wide exit there. Kip trying to get the drive out so he can get in front of his teammate there, but wasn't close enough on that occasion, and Helmi just managed to lunge into the front, and yeah, it's not going to be enough for Kip, I don't think. The Thai Honda riders came for a bit and now they're heading out again. So we're probably going to see some tandem work between the pair of them once again. Kip there taking a nice chunk of slipstream. Helmi Asman, of course, yeah, Helmi Asman also was at the Endurance World Championship, but with a different camp. He was in the experimental class with the Tochigi Honda racing team. Different category to what Kip was racing in Suzuka. 212.2 on that lap. This just wasn't happening in sector 3 for Kip. And two of these riders fresh after the Suzuka 8 hours, readjusting their riding styles, racing two different categories last time out, but both riding the CBR 1000 Triple Rs. There is our number 18, Kitsara Tanachot, currently sitting in second. It looks like maybe Tanat's going to go for an attack lap again. He's given himself a bit of space between himself and his teammate. Let's see what Kitsada and Tanat can do for this final 3 minutes and a bit of qualifying. And the clouds are darkening. I do hear a bit of commotion in the background that there might be some spots of rain, but until we see the rain flags, we will not say that there is rain. But there is a concern now. There is a bit of a concern, but luckily it's at the end of qualifying. So should rain fall now, it won't be too much of a hindrance towards the lap times because the fastest will have been set already. Never fling Kitsada, number 18 once again. Kitsada slowing down a bit around turn 14. It's not really pushing Jazz off yet. I think he might be waiting for Tana to be within a bit of a slipstream. As you know, the Thai Honda team are always looking to have some tandem work between each other, try and pull each other into the fastest lap times.
Yep, kita tinggal lagi 2 minit 30 saat akan tamat. Tidak ada nampak bagaimana mereka dapat membagi cara catatan masa lakukan oleh Tanak Long Plio ni, kerana memang jauh catatan masa yang dia lakukan. Paling dekat pun kisah datang Tanachot, tapi itu pun memang lebih dari itu saat 1.3 second lebih laju Tanak Long Plio berada di depan. That's gonna be a challenge untuk Helmi yang akan dampawi bagaimana untuk memberikan cabaran kepada Tanak Long Plio dan Kitsada Tanachot ini. Itu not forgetting Faris Putra juga yang akan cuba untuk memberikan cabaran, but the thing is that catatan masa yang mereka still struggling to make catatan masa yang baik untuk bagi dalam sesi kelayakan ini. Even though like Nakib Rifki dia dapat bagi catatan masanya, tapi belum cukup lagi untuk mengejar. But as development progress untuk Nakib Rifki, dia nampak peningkatan daripada 2.15 sekarang dapat 2.13. So all he needs to do is to follow abang-abang di depan ketika dalam perubahan nanti, dan try to get certain skill atau cara untuk bagaimana untuk memadamkan catatan masa, kerana kalau kita lihatkan kelebihan yang ada pada pelumba depan, bagaimana mereka melakukan catatan masa yang lebih baik. Now as we approaching to the end of sesi kelayakan untuk MSBK 600 ini, dari timing page tak nampak ada pelumba yang melakukan masa jauh lebih baik lagi. So I'm sure Tanat Longpelio akan berada di peringkat utama. Again, the two Thai riders yang kita lihat sekarang ini bergandengan untuk melakukan catatan masa bagi sesi kelayakan ini. Tanat Longpelio 31, Kisara Tanat Short 18. Kisara sentiasa berada di belakang Tanat untuk melihat racing line dan mengikuti apa yang dilakukan oleh Tanat Longpelio untuk melakukan catatan masa yang lebih baik lagi.
20 seconds left. Tanat comes across the line 210.4. Tanat's pace is formidable. 210, 210, 210, 210, non-stop. He is the fastest rider on track, the second fastest rider on track, probably the third, fourth and fifth fastest lap done in qualifying as well. Tanat is on form, Tanat is fresh. Something is just not clicking for the Honda Malaysian paddock. Looking for a rise from those riders. Faras Putra comes across the line, takes the check flag. He's the second rider to take the checker flag. On that occasion, not improving either. 213.8 that time round, 212.8, his fastest of this session. In Faris, it's a learning curve for him, step-by-step progress for him to find those faster lap times. Yeah, exactly a second faster as Tanat compared to qualifying in round one. Tanat there, he's still on a... Well, yeah, it's not on a push lap, he slowed down, so he's just trying not to come in the way of these two riders in front of him who aren't going any faster, but they are still pushing on. Quesada hasn't taken the checker flag, so maybe Quesada thinks he has a bit of time, so he wants to take advantage behind these two in front of him. The clouds are looming. The darker clouds have arrived over the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. As you can see on screen as well, it is looking a bit darker as they swing around the long, tricky turn 14. It's so easy to let the rear tires start spinning out there, and they do start spinning actually the second you grab the gas. And there's a visual of the weather. It is still ideal conditions. No rain dropping. That's what we want. Cool, dry conditions at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. That's exactly what you want here. And here they come now across the line to take the checker flag. These bikes do look a bit different, I must say. These CBR 600s that Honda Racing Malaysia are running, I've no word received that these are newer models, but I have heard of updates around the motorsport sphere, that updates are coming for the Honda bikes. No info whether that is the updated machine. For now, this is what qualifying looks like for the MSBK 600. A blistering 209.6 from Tanat Longpelio. His teammate Kitsara Tanachot with a great time as well of a 210.9. Helmi Asman and Karya Dampawi in third and fourth. Question marks raised for them, 211.3, 211.9. Faris Putra, decent steps forward. He clocks in at 212.894 in fifth. Nakabirifke Zuhelmi as well, good improvements. He's in sixth with a 213.03. Karo Amarin Yahya on the Panigale V2 with a 221.584. We're going to take a short break and we're back with more action for qualifying here for round 2 of the MAM Malaysia Superbike Championship at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit.
So Tanad, it's a brilliant qualifying session from you. Exactly 1 second faster than round one last time out. So tell us, what was different this weekend for you?
Yeah, today so many grip and more grip. I will try to my best and we keep to look forward and we need to more and then I will try can get to 09. I'm so happy I have data for the ARC in the last fight. Yeah, I'm so happy. Late today I will try my best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanad. Good luck for the race.
So much. Thank you.
Oh, ini baru cakap yang kita masuk ke sekarang ni MSBK 1000 and ada one bike. Nombor 5 itu ada Teguh Irfan Effendi yang ada sedikit masalah di lita terjatuh tadi. So look again. Oh, yang tidak dapat mengawal jentera yang terjatuh. Tapi dapat meneruskan kembali. Kita masih di peringkat awal bagi sesi kelayakan untuk MSBK 1000 ini. Biasa kita ada MSBK 1000A dan juga 1000B, and kita akan lihat dahulu bagi 1000A pada sesi latihan dan bebas semalam. Kasma yang lakukan masa terpantas 2:07.508, the only one yang lakukan masa 2:07 semalam, dengan Muhammad Adenanta Putra lakukan 2:08.459. Adam Norodin tempat yang ketiga dengan 2 minit 09.255. Adnan Syah Kamal Zaman tempat yang keempat 2:09.838 dengan Osama Maria tempat yang kelima 2:12.427. Kejutan masa yang mereka lakukan semalam dalam sesi latihan. So far sekarang ini di peringkat awal bagi sesi kelayakan yang baru masuk 6 minit, dan kita boleh nampak bendera putih palang merah menandakan lita agak licin, dan maksudnya hujan turun di sebahagian lita perhaps, kerana itu adalah menandakan tinta licin. Itu hujan, ada hujan, maafkan saya, hujan. Tinta licin adalah jalur
Catalonia flag.
ya, Catalonia merah kuning. Ya, putih balang merah adalah menandakan hujan dan telah pun turun di lita sekarang ini, tapi tidak lebat kerana kita renyai sahaja. And as we said just now,
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Kasma is running a new bike. That is a new upgrade for the R1. Finally, this is the first time I'm noticing it. That is finally a new bike for Kasma, and this could mean something is being tested for next season. I'm sorry, I'm very happy to see this, because last time out in Motegi, we saw Shota Ite's bike, and it was running the same fairing. That is the one that we see the Yamaha World Championship team running in the World Superbikes for the past couple of seasons. That is a new piece of kit for Kasma. This is a great welcome. We saw how strong Shota Ite's Yamaha was. It was capable of fighting toe-to-toe with the best of the new Superbikes, which the Yamaha has been lacking. And now finally for Hongling Yamaha, we're seeing this upgrade arrive for Kasma. This is good signs. This is very good signs for Yamaha for the future.
Yep. Dan tapi dengan keadaan lita yang hujan mulai turun ini, sedikit menyukarkan untuk lakukan masa yang lebih baik, kerana Adam Norodin yang terpantas lita 2 minit 23.902 saat. Kasma second fastest dengan 2 minit 23.955. But Kasma faster di sektor yang kedua tadi. Sekarang berada di sektor yang ketiga untuk Kasma. Dengan jentera barunya, tidak berapa catatan masa yang boleh dia lakukan di sektor yang ketiga, 41.828. Dia faster sektor yang ketiga, tapi we do have one rider, Adnan Syah Kamal Zaman, yang laju dalam 2 sektor yang pertama. Dan Adnan di sektor yang ketiga sekarang ini. Adnan fastest dalam 2 sektor yang pertama. Wow. Dan catatan masa kita lihat berapa yang dilakukan oleh Adnan di sektor yang ketiga ini, whereby I think Kasma juga akan dapat baiki catatan masa berapa Kasma lakukan. Ya, terpantas 2:16.033. Not time yang kita tahu Kasma boleh lakukan, but still with the condition of the track, this is the best done by Kasma. And Lan lakukan masa terpantas sektor yang ketiga. I think Lan will be up there ketika sampai ke garis penamat nanti.
Yeah, there's someone that likes tricky conditions. It's this man over here, Azan Shah. And you can see that the lap times, it reflects the conditions, so it's starting to get a bit damp out there. And it's making the riders lose a bit of confidence. Azan Shah running at the hard option front there. So one thing that's interesting, Dunlop is testing some new compounds. Look at that nice little wheelie there from Azan Shah as he comes across the line to take the fastest lap at 2:15.670. But yeah, Dunlop, they're here testing some new compounds on the 600s. That's what we know. Maybe they're doing some testing for the 1000s as well. And it would come as to no surprise as to why that would be on Azan Shah's bike. He is one of the greatest riders to come from the Asian region and one of the best to get feedback from. His teammate there, Adam Nordin, running a different front. That's a medium front on Adam's bike.
Dan gunakan pengalamannya untuk melakukan masa terpantai dalam kondisi lita sebegini. Remember early on our commentary tadi, dan katakan great weather. The past few days is very warm, hot around here in Sepang. Dan nampaknya komentator curse menjadi untuk Daniel kali ini kerana hujan telah pun turun di lita. But with the time that they are making, I'm sure that track agak basah juga kerana kelajuan yang dilakukan oleh pelumba juga tidak. 215 is not the time yang kompetitif untuk pelumba ini.
Yeah, you can see them raising the hands there. The funny thing is at the straight we see no rain, but apparently at the back part of the track,
Daniel.
Oh no, it is actually getting quite damp out here. And because there's been no real sun since the morning, the ground temperature isn't warm, so it's not drying up. So that's what's causing the trickiness for the riders. I think they would have felt that traction control kicking in very early on, which will indicate to the riders it's wet, it's too damp, and they can't push. And I think it's too dry to go on wet tires, but it's too damp to go on the slicks. So yeah, it's a tricky situation now for the MSBK 1000s.
It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, exactly that. What this does right now though is give Santiran Nagaraju one of the fantastic starting position if qualifying ends like this, because he's up into 4th for the MSBK 1000B. He went on and did their lap early on. Adinanta Putra has only come out now, so Adinanta Putra will not be contesting for those top spots if the conditions don't get better. And I can see the rain now. It is getting heavier. So the rain has formed from a drizzle into a proper rain.
Yeah, you can see the visor of Azlan tadi nampak agak basah dengan ada hujan kerana it's quite difficult from where we are sitting untuk lihat keadaan lita di luar, tapi I'm sure that dengan catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh mereka, dan memang I think di keseluruhan lita kerana we do have bendera putih palang merah yang dikibarkan. Now it's getting heavier. Sudah semakin mulai lebat sedikit di lita antara bangsa Sepang Petronas ini. The reminder for the round 1 perlumbaan dalam pusingan yang pertama juga dalam keadaan cuaca yang basah pada ketika itu. And well, baiknya jugalah untuk pelumba di belakang akan dapat memberikan cabaran. Dan as what Daniel said just now, Santiran dan Nagaraju yang melakukan masa keempat terpantas sekarang ini.
Oh, that's fascinating. I'm just looking at Kasma's R1. That's a different swing arm. That's a new bike. Swing arm lain, everything different. Yeah, let's have a look at this. So those are the winglets. We haven't seen Kasma ride this model. This is a different bike. Look at the swing arm as well. The swing arm, that is not the typical R1 swing arm. I'm pretty sure that has come from the racing department that's been tested in the World Championship. This is new. This is a big step forward for Yamaha and Kasma. These are hints of what's happening next year in the Asia Road Racing Championship. It's a step forward for Yamaha. We haven't seen Honglong Yamaha compete in the 1000s ever since Kasma went down to the 600s 2 seasons ago. You can see that's the new winglet. That's a new addition. These are new parts that have come on. I'm going to go and have a chat with the team and Kasma later on, because I want to know more. This is exciting stuff. Tech being tested. Of course, there are talks of concessions coming into play for the ASB 1000s for the coming rounds, and for Yamaha, this could be a big step forward as well to bring the competition closer. Of course, we know the cross-plane engine is lacking a bit of that top-end speed, which is required now in the ASB 1000s class, especially for the exits. So now the electronics play a big role. That swing arm also will improve the feeling and the grip on the exits. That's a Cosmo on a mission. Look at this happy man, Azan Shah, in the tricky final laps before it got really wet. He managed to clock in his time, and right now he's provisional first. Provisional pole for Azan Shah, and the rain doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. We're not going to get any drier weather, which means we will not get a faster lap time. We have 15 minutes left. It's physically impossible. So there we have it. Most likely it will be Azan Shah starting from pole position, and even better, Adam Norden in third, Cosmo Daniel in second. Not a single Honda on the front row, nor a BMW. So this is not what you see every day. Tricky conditions, everything changing in this MSBK 1000 class. Adinanta Putra, he's going to be gutted. The best he can hope for right now is to start in 17th. So despite being on hot pace at the end of free practice yesterday, Adinanta Putra will have a mountain to climb. I think what Adinanta Putra can hope for is that the rain will maintain until race 1, or at least he will come back for race 1. We know how well he does in the wet conditions. There's another great look at that brand new R1, the Honglong Yamaha garage for Cosmo Daniel. Oh, so good to see. I mean, again, just like how I was earlier on, a broken record with Tanat's 209.688. I sound like a broken record now for that Yamaha because we haven't seen that bike. That's so good to see for Honglong Yamaha. It looks like Adinanta Putra has probably slapped on some wet tires there for his bike. And he'll be looking to try and get some wet laps in and get a wet weather setup done. Azan Shah's bike as well might be getting ready to go out. Gonna be a bad shot. We're expecting dry races, but it is Sepang. You just never know. We didn't think rain was going to come this morning, but here we are. Yeah, we do see wet tires there being rolled next to Azan Shah's bike. No particular hurry to anything sorted. The important part was it was, so to speak, dry earlier. Have secured that. Fastest top speed for the drier portion of qualifying session was a 285 from Cosmo Daniel. Again, a far cry from what the fastest top speeds would be for this class, but in those conditions, that's a big improvement for the Yamaha camp. You can see that everyone, I think, at least from the factory team sides, are looking to head up for some wet laps. Some data, get a bit of setup coming in. I mean, the rain surprised us for this qualifying session. Who's to say it won't surprise us at another time in this weekend? Mr. Rohan there, having a chat with the Astro Honda camp. Minutes left in qualifying. And we do have some bikes who have gone out. So there's a Suzuki that's out on track right now. Getting a tire change, but it looks like it's getting a bit stuck there. That's not what you want to see. It's a nice looking helmet there from the KYT. The design of Bastianini. And there's some bikes heading out. Loh Kian Hui is out on track right now. Fami Abdul Wahab for FGRT Project 1 on the Panigale V4R is out on track. They're still trying to get that rear wheel off Kaswa Daniel's bike.
Kita boleh nampak hujan yang agak lebat di Rita, but mereka akan still keluar kerana it's important for them, terutama dalam perlumbaan dan nanti jika dalam keadaan cuaca yang begini, so at least they have some data yang mereka boleh gunakan untuk perlumbaan yang akan berlangsung di sebelah petang nanti. Dari pagi tadi pun kita dah katakan bahawa cuaca mendung di antarabangsa Sepang, Petronas ini, but tidak ada sebarang tanda untuk hujan. Tapi sekarang hujan mulai membasahi Lita. That is yang mana kita lihatkan sekarang ini. Catatan masa, ya, I don't think dia dapat untuk baki catatan masa yang dapat dilakukan bermadam catatan masa dilakukan oleh Aslan.
Southpan from Dunlop there just watching on. He also did mention to me that for this season they're not expecting any changes for the wet tire compounds, but they will be testing some new improvements. So far the wet Dunlops haven't had any issues. I think everyone's enjoyed riding on them and found some level of grip in tricky conditions. Nine minutes left in qualifying for the MSBK 1000s. Martino from Korea for FGRT Project 1 has gone out as well to get to grips with the wet conditions in Sepang. Sepang in the wet is a bit tricky. It doesn't really give you the feedback that you'd want at times, and it's all about finding the trust in the tires to grip. So right now, just looking at the lap times, it's still possible for Adinanta Putra to climb a few positions up. In these wet conditions, he theoretically could find 220, which would put him at least on the second row. Looking at the front straight now, looks like the rain has stopped. So it's not going to be drying anytime soon, but will be okay for riders like Adinanta to find some improvements. Now following Teva Kumaran, who's currently sitting in 16th. You can still see the spray coming off the rear tires there as they roll through turn 11. There goes Hassan Shah now to get some wet weather data. Nothing to improve on that time wise. He's already caught in the fastest time of the qualifying session just before it got properly wet. So Hassan Shah always impressing us with surprises. He's fresh after a Suzuka 8-hour endurance race with a bit of an issue, but managed to finish the rest of the stint as well. Describe those emotions from Kasma Daniel there. I think Kasma's eager. He's got those new parts, got a new bike. He wants to find those improvements. Looks like an issue there. That was for number 24 of Lee Po Yu. Instantly coming out and having an issue, so that's not what you want to see. That's unfortunate. So Lee Po Yu, who ran well on the BMWs, is still trying to find life in that on that Suzuki Gixxer. Still unable to find the lap times that he expects for himself. And then Tapucha comes across the line. He does put himself on second row, as expected, at 225. We know that his pace is good in the wet, so a much better starting position for Adnan Taputra, saving what looked a bit disastrous at one point. There comes Casmadeno now for the tricky depth conditions that we have here. The see the slippery flags are still out there to indicate that it's not drying up now. It did look like there was still a bit of a drizzle on the other half of the track. I'll be on to the southern half of the Sepang International Circuit, but here comes Kasma now.
Ya, Daniel, kalau kita lihatkan keadaan Lita yang basah, don't think they're gonna improve the time. So, apa yang dilakukan oleh pemulung sekarang di Litam ni, when they're not gonna be able to improve the time, so what's the best they can do here?
So for Adnan, I mean, he has improved at least his position from a dismal 17th now to at least second on the row. But for the rest, I mean, as we know, for Aslan, he loves these conditions. So the best case scenario for Aslan, Adam, as well as Kasma, is just about data. Just get that wet weather set up. So just in case, should it go wet for any of the races this weekend, we'll be ready with some knowledge and some feeling for the better results.
Yeah, we do hope that petang ini nanti cuaca akan bertambah baik untuk menyaksikan perlumbaan. Cuma sekarang ni dalam sesi kelayakan, nothing much that can be done oleh kesemua pelumba untuk cuba membaki catatan masa. But we do have pelumba yang dapat baki masa mereka. Berjit Satya Prasad nampak catatan masanya dalam 3 set pertama lebih baik peribadi yang dilakukan. Then we do have Tamarul Izzat yang melakukan masa yang baik juga dalam 2 sektor pertama, but lost time sektor yang ketiga. I think hujan di sebelah selatan lebih lebat lagi, jadi situ mereka catatan masa akan kehilangan masa sektor yang keempat especially. Tapi kita lihat bagaimana Lan dengan Adam yang cuba apa yang dilakukan oleh kedua-dua pelumba ini, kerana catatan masa mereka sudah cukup baik, 2.15, 6.70, 2.17, 6.26. Now they currently, so for the AMI Suzuki Motorsport will be in the front row. That is the first also for them to be in the front row, dua-dua pelumba mereka dengan mengapit Kasma Daniel yang berada di kedudukan petak yang kedua dalam perlumbaan. So that's tinggal masa lagi 2 minit lagi akan tamat. I think catatan masa ini akan kekal dan we're gonna see the battle between the 3 riders, Azlan, Kasma and Adam yang berada di hadapan. That will be interesting to see. Untuk 3 pelumba di depan ini, remember the battle between Azlan dengan Kasma dalam perlumbaan pusingan yang pertama. We can see also that tidak begitu laju bagi Lan dan juga Adam. Catatan masa, I think they have one more lap to go. 1.35, 1 minit 30 saat lagi akan tamat dalam sesi kelayakan ini. Dua pelumba ini yang kita lihat yang akan berada di petak pertama dan petak ketiga dalam perlumbaan. as pasukan MI Suzuki Motorsports. So they now collecting all the data and melihat keadaan lita persediaan untuk perlumbaan jika perlumbaan nanti dilangsungkan dalam keadaan cuaca yang basah. We do remember what happened in the first race. Kita ada satu tempoh agak panjang dia menantikan hujan reda untuk perlumbaan disambung semula. We do hope that sebelah petang ini cuaca baik untuk kita dapat menyaksikan perlumbaan saingan antara kesemua-semua pelumba dalam MSBK 1000 ini.
Adnan Putra was on a really hot lap, but he lost about 3 seconds in sector 3 due to a mistake. So Adnan Putra might actually make it up into 4th place. We know that in these conditions, similarly, he was lapping in the lower 20s, so Adnan Putra might find another position up. Follow Kasma now just to get a bit of wet data on this newer R1 that he's riding. He's been waiting for that upgrade for a while now, and after proving himself champion last season in the 600s and contesting again this season, I have brought him a new bike, which is great to see. Kasma not going any faster. It looks like Adnan Putra as well has backed off from trying to improve on this position. By the looks of it, there we have it. We're not getting any shifts in positions. Sunshine, Adam Noureddin coming out of turn 14. Azam Shah, who relishes in these sorts of conditions, tricky conditions. The wet weather masters of the sport. Zooming on the rear wheel as he has a bit of a twitch on the exit. And that Suzuki's a bit of a handful on the exits of turns. He comes across the line. 25, so Kasma, Aslan and Adam all clocking in the 225 on the final wet lap in qualifying. Only Adnan Putra lapping in the 223s. Najit Singh, number 29, comes across the line to clocking in 235 really in the tricky conditions. And Pro Martineau, he's in 10th. Yi Junpeng is 9th. It looks like actually he's so Martineau, the wildcard rider from Korea, former Korean SBK champion as well. He's found 10th. He's capable of more, but tricky conditions for qualifying for him. As we look at the K1 grandstand with the iconic Malaysian flag. Wait for the results now as the weather starts to darken a bit. Darker clouds arriving around the Petronas Sepang International Circuit as we look across turn 3 to the K1 grandstand, which overlooks the famous turn 1 and 2 of the Petronas Sepang International Circuit before the downhill run of turn 3.
So I was in tricky conditions in qualifying, but you managed to set that one decently fast enough lap at the start. So can you tell us how was it out there when you set that 2:15?
Actually, it's quite tricky. In the first outing, I was very scared, and I pit in, but I saw Kasbah and Adam still go out, so I just give one lap, a good lap, and yeah, I make a 15. So very lucky before the rain is coming heavy. So yeah, very lucky to be in the number 1 spot.
So at the end of qualifying, we saw a bit of a twitch at turn 15 on the exit for you. We know how well you go around in the wet, especially for the last run, we've seen it. So are you confident with the setup again for if it becomes wet again later in the race?
Yeah, we try the new suspension setup for the wet, but actually it's not very wet, so it's very slippery and tricky. Yeah, I hope if the final race is rain, I hope the rain is more water, and it's going to be a good race.
Thank you, Hassan. Good luck for later.
Baiklah, kita beralih ke satu lagi sesi kelayakan dan kali ini kita akan menyaksikan bagi berjaya Sompo Yamaha R15M Race Elite. Senaraikan 23 pelumba, 32 pelumba dan kami dipahamkan bahawa pelumba nombor 21 Cik Muhammad Daniel Syazwan yang tidak menyertai perlumbaan selepas mengalami kecederaan semalam satu sesi latihan. Jadi tempatnya diambil oleh Jebat yang akan kita Ahmad Jebat Zulkarnain yang menggunakan jentera nombor 36 mengambil sesi kelayakan ini menggantikan Cik Muhammad Daniel Syazwan dari Terengganu. Dan tiba kita melihat hujan yang turun agak lebat di litar antara bangsa Sepang Petronas ini. Bendera merah kuning yang dikibarkan itu menandakan lita yang agak licin. Jadi pelumba berhati-hati. Catatan masa memang untuk jentera ini memanglah sangat perlahan. Dengan keadaan lita begini lagilah mereka tidak dapat untuk melakukan catatan masa yang kebiasaannya dapat dilakukan oleh mereka. 2 minit 51.756 adalah catatan masa yang mereka lakukan semalam sewaktu sesi latihan bebas. Kita boleh nampak hujan yang lebat di litar ini akan memberikan sedikit masalah kepada pelumba untuk melakukan catatan masa yang lebih baik. Jadi mereka keluar di litar sekarang untuk mengambilkan sesi kelayakan ini. Catatan masa mereka lakukan memang sekarang 3 minit, lebih pada 3 minit. Semakin lebat hujan di litar antarabangsa Sepang Petronas ini. Dan looks like catatan masa mereka juga jauh kurang daripada, lebih perlahan daripada catatan masa yang mereka lakukan sebelum ini dalam sesi latihan. We look back at the round 1, catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh mereka. Round yang pertama dalam sesi kelayakan 2 minit 50.813 oleh Raja Abdul Rakib Raja Nur Fatihah. That is in the race sekian yang pertama. Dan it looks like over 3 minutes catatan masa yang mereka lakukan untuk sesi kelayakan ini. Dan fastest is Nuzul Adi Muhammad Sudin 3 minit 24.821 saat.
Yeah, it's dismal conditions, isn't it? For the qualifying, it's not the type of weather you want, especially for these bikes. They don't have wet tires, so they're running on the same compounds, which are semi-slick. So these are going to be really tricky, and that's why we're quite literally close to 30 seconds slower than the usual pace that they'll be going around here.
It got even more viral that time. Saya buat konten dengan apa pun dah. Boleh. Nanti saya bawa semua benda my sister ke apa, kita pakai. Boleh. Kita pakai speedo.
As you can see there from the image as they come around turn 15, and this is the camera position from turn 1 coming down. Look at the standing water that we have here at Petronas Sepang International Circuit. That is going to be an issue for these bikes as they try and tip the bike in. Still going on. It's tricky. I mean, that much standing water. You do feel the track, but the standing water will be a bit of a speed bump to negotiate as they come down into turn 3. It'll be even more apparent once they reach out of turn 8 into turn 9. That's where we often see quite a bit of standing water. Turn 4 is a race uphill. You can see the spray coming off the tires, and that's not even with the wet tires. So you can imagine with the wet tires, that spray will be almost nearly blinding the view of the riders behind them. And the problem that we have here this morning is the fact that we haven't had hot weather. So the ground temperature, it's not hot enough to evaporate the water quickly. So that's why we're getting instantly a large amount of standing water. The irrigation in Sepang is pretty good, but the rain that comes around here is enough to make even that run into issues, as we saw in round 1, causing us well over an hour of delay. Round 1, we were expected to go home at 5 o'clock, and it became 6:30.
So we do hope that hujan akan reda sebelah petang nanti, suatu perlumbaan bermula jam 2 petang untuk kesemua kategori ini. And then we can see the time, macam dia katakan tadi, 3.20, 3.19 catatan terpantas banding dengan 2.50 catatan masa yang mereka boleh lakukan. And I think sama lebat lagi, that tadi 30 seconds slower, but I think now is much lower than before, much slower than masa yang mereka lakukan. We do have one rider, Daniel, number 21, that semalam terjatuh dan mengalami kecederaan, Cik Muhammad Daniel Shazwan, that be replaced by Ahmad Jebat Zulkarnain, number 36. Dalam perlumbaan ini, not much they can do with this condition on the track.
Yeah, literally, as you said, there's really not much more they can. I mean, 319 from Ashar Zakwan. That's just because he's able to block out that human sense that says, don't push. But he's able to find a little bit more grip. You can see at turn 9 just now, the difference between a lot of the riders. Most of them just not having the confidence to run that bike up the hill there. Turn 15 is always going to be a tricky one as well in the wet conditions. Slippery when wet is quite literal here in Sepang when you don't have proper wet compounds, and even if you do in these conditions, it's quite difficult to ride. This group comes across the line now. You can see the spray that the tires are kicking up. Now just imagine with the width of a 1000 or a 600cc bike tire, that's going to be spray that makes visibility quite hard. And it's not obvious on camera, but there is no wind. Well, at least not that's noticeable. I mean, the rain is just really falling flat down onto the track, straight down. So yeah, this rain looks like it will stay for a bit. Clouds are not that dark, but it is looking European. It's looking British European weather right now. If anyone has been to the Netherlands or to the UK, you'll understand what I mean by that. It is just grey and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. You can see that the water collecting at turn 9.
Ya, hujan dia agak sekata dan tidak begitu lebat. Dan biasanya keadaan hujan begini akan agak berlarutan agak panjang. So itu yang akan berikan satu cabaran kepada pelumba juga in handling bagaimana untuk mereka cuba untuk menyesuaikan diri dengan keadaan dita begini. Kita boleh lihat kan, again tu padamkan catatan masa yang dilakukan sekarang 3:18, but it seems like Ashraf Zakwan still can find a time, find a way to get a faster time. Sekarang ni dia lebih laju di dua sektor yang pertama. Looks like macam dia boleh still dapatkan kelajuan walaupun dalam keadaan litar begini.
Yeah, Ashraf Zakwan is rollerblading through these conditions and he's finding ease. But the rest are still trying to find the grip. He's nearly 3 seconds faster than Aaron Risky in second. And around turn 15 they come now. You can see how much standing water there is on the track now. Tricky conditions that we have. So I'm amazed that we haven't had any incidences. I mean, it's good. It's a good thing. The riders are being sensible.
Ya, itu lumba agak berhati-hati di litar sekarang ini. We can see Ashraf Zakwan getting faster dalam 3 sektor yang pertama. So he will improve his time. 3:18.032 catatan masa, and if he can continue dengan masa yang dilakukannya ini, dia akan dapat lakukan masa yang lebih baik lagi. Can see now dalam 3 sektor pertama dia melakukan masa terpantas di litar buat masa ini. Through and catatan masanya di sektor yang keempat untuk Ashraf Zakwan Zainal Raif.
Oh, see, it's gone a second quicker. 3:17.055. So Ashraf Zakwan's superior in the wet amongst the rest. If Arish Shazwan has improved his lap time to a 3:18.476. So some riders are, well, a lot of riders are actually improving. So they are starting to get to grips with these tricky conditions that we're having. Track conditions not improving by any means. Skies are very grey and dull. Although the slight ray of sunshine that's not physically apparent, no pun intended, but is the fact that we do not have any lightning, so that's not causing any delays, so that's very good. And we don't have too much standing water that's hampering us from progressing, so at least that's the bright side of things. 3 minutes and 50 seconds more or less left in the session. As the rain continues to pitter-patter down. So coming up after this, we have the Idemitsu Honda Thailand Talent Cup race. They will be running the slick tires, sorry, they will be running their wet tires, and that's going to be a tricky one. I think visibility will be a big issue for those who are not at the front.
And, salah yang satu ujian yang berbeza kepada mereka, but I think for most of them with this condition of weather, mereka telah pun biasa berlumba dalam banyak perlumbaan di Malaysia ni. Cuma ya, dan dikatakan tadi visibility untuk melihat ke depan agak sukar sedikit. As for now, I can see that Ashraf Zakwan Zainal Raif lakukan masa yang lebih baik lagi di sektor yang kedua. Seems that he managed to find a way untuk melakukan masa yang lebih baik. I think by now we can say that tinggal 2 minit lagi bahawa catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh Ashraf Zakwan ini. Wah, see, he's again fastest in sector 3. Macam tidak.
Yeah, I think what he's found is that he took the risk early on to try and find a faster lap time, and he's found that comfort zone. He's realized that, okay, this is where the level where the grip is, and he's managed to improve on that. Oh, the rain is getting heavier. The rain is getting much heavier now. Look at that. So this will be a bit concerning now for the next race, because when it's this heavy, usually, well, not usually, but this can bring out red flags and delays, and it is getting to the point where it will be quite tough to ride on. Again, one of the safety factors is visibility. Of course, grip is one thing. Any decent rider can adapt to rain, but the issue is going to be visibility. I mean, look at this. You can barely see the bikes about 20-25 meters down from the front group that we're watching. This is not with the wet compounds either, so it's gonna be a tricky one. But race direction, they're always ahead of us anyways. They will be factoring this in. And usually race directions decisions are always accurate, and
Yeah.
they will make the right decisions. This is tricky. These are tricky conditions.
Memang suka dengan keadaan anda begini. But one thing for sure, tidak ada sebarang insiden dalam sesi kelayakan ini yang akan tamat dalam 30 saat dari sekarang. But we are waiting in instruction on the next race, Daniel, our first race in fact. Because keadaan kita, what do you think? Adakah mereka boleh berlumba dalam keadaan macam ni atau akan ditunda dalam keadaan litar untuk bagi perlumbaan Thailand Talent Cup?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, the standing water doesn't look ridiculously bad in comparison to what we saw in round 1. But again, yeah, the fact is visibility. I think the only way for us to know is when they come out of pit. Oh, we have Rider going down at turn 7 there. Well, that's the first error that we've seen in this one, unforced error.
Yeah, and coming towards the end of the session, baru tadi kita katakan bahawa dapat berjalan dengan lancar, tidak ada sebarang insiden. But we do have one rider yang terjatuh di penghujung. Memang checkered flag telah pun dikibarkan melanda tamat bagi sesi kelayakan ini.
Here's what happened, just tipping. Turn 7 is always slippery in the wet, and Arisha's one, they're taking a learning curve. You can see the rear was actually going away first, and then the front went. But there's a lot of standing water there at turn 9. So, to your question earlier, with that much standing water at turn 9, I'm not too sure whether the conditions are great for the Thailand Talent Cup. I think the best measure will be the outlap when they come out of pit lane for their first outing onto the track in these conditions. We'll see the amount of spray that comes, and I think from there, race direction will have a look. But there's a lot of standing water now. That's going to be, I think, the biggest concern. It's looking very similar to what we saw in round 1 on our hour-and-a-half delay. Of course, we do not want that to happen again. If it's wet, look at the spray coming. If it's wet, let it be wet. The type of wet that allows us for racing, but you can just see how there's literally a wake being created by Asher Zakwan as he cuts through the straights. Look at that. That's tricky. This is tricky conditions. The rain's not slowing down. So everyone taking the checker flag now. Unsurprisingly, we did not have any improvements. The track just getting wetter and wetter. Shazwan was pushing on. Second sector was quick, but yeah, then came that error into turn 7. So this is what the results look like for the Bajaj Sompo R15 Yamaha Race Elites. Asher Zakwan in first and fastest, Arish Shazwan in second with that late fall at turn 7. Farhan Nakib third, fourth is Adam Daniel, fifth is Muhammad Afiq Shazani, sixth is Sheikh Muhammad Ishraf, seventh is Adam Haris Hafiz, eighth is Muhammad Ikram Dani. Ninth is Muhammad Aaron Rizki, 10th is Shao Zaifi Adli, 11th is Muhammad Amir Muhammad Hafiz, 12th is Ahmad Jabat Zulkarnain, 13th is Nuzul Adi, 14th is Danish Hazrik, 15th Said Adam Zakwan, 16th is Muhammad Arfan Ashraf, 17th is Muhammad Zulqaim, 18th is Aish Kushairi, 19th Raja Atanur Muhammad Daniel, 20th is Shashal Akif Hakimi, 21st Tanka Weng, 22nd Ahmad Ryan Kayum, 23rd is Muhammad Akil Ukail, 24th Raja Abdul Rakib, 25th Danish Rifki, 26th Muhammad Alif Muhammad Hafiz, 27th is Muhammad Arif Darwish, 28th is Muhammad Akif Koyum, 29th is Muhammad Ali Imran, who was fastest yesterday in practice. 30th is Muhammad Rasul Iman. 31st is Mbot Danish. 32nd, Nurdini Uzma. So we're gonna head to a short break after that. Very much, well, not really interrupted, but tricky conditions in the wet. And we'll be back with more action for day 2 of the MAM Malaysia Superbike Championship.
sekarang kita bersama dengan Ashraf Zakwan, iaitu kita punya fastest qualifying rider. Okey, Ashraf, sekarang kita tengok keadaan sekarang agak hujan. Okey, so boleh tak ceritakan sikit apa yang berlaku dekat dalam litar tadi?
First, saya naik car, Alhamdulillah dapat pole position. Dan saya nak terima kasih kat kru Yamaha semua, Abang Zamani. Lepas tu pada waktu qualifying tadi, awal-awal saya just tekan je. Dapat feeling better, lepas tu saya dapat fastest lap tu. Itu je, saya dapat yang feeling.
Okey, baik. Terima kasih and tahniah lagi sekali
Thank you.